Hello, everyone. I welcome you once again to this beautiful edition of Pragati Vichar Literature Festival. And running on to this 24 hours authors marathon, we have with us Dr. Vijay Yekartikeyan, author of the book Mafia Premier League. And the session of the topic, the topic of the session is crime and cricket. Do they go hand in hand? So, here to you, sir. Please start by introducing yourself to the audience.
Hi, very happy to be part of the author marathon today. And myself, Vijay Karthikeyan, author of the book Mafia Premier League. Prior to this, I have written a couple of other books as well, titled Once Upon an IAS Exam and The Heartquake. This is third book, third fiction for me. Apart from that, I have written about seven other books, non-fiction category. So I'm an author of about 10 books. Third English book is third English fiction is the Mafia Premier League, and it is about combination of crime and cricket put together, like you were rightly mentioned during your introductory remarks also. So very happy to have got this done, and very happy with the response for the book as well. So look forward to again catching up with the readers, also connecting to the readers, and taking this book forward to everybody. And also again create that environment for bringing in more readers into the reading platform and being a tool for that. I'm very happy and proud to be a part of that.
Okay, so I'll start straight away with the first question, sir. So, here it is. So, cricket is the biggest sport in the country. Is that the reason you got dragged towards the subject of the book?
Not exactly. Cricket, of course, is the biggest sport in the country. Again, I'm one of those in number of people who are really again passionate about the game, and I myself play the game very sincerely and very in a very systematic way. Whenever I get time, and I do follow the game. I kept following it during my childhood, school, and college days, and even though whatever work and assignment I have in place right now, apart from that too, I find time to somehow keep track of whatever is happening. So, like you said, it is the biggest sport. There's no denying that, and I'm also extremely passionate about it, and that had a huge influence. Things that you see in your childhood, and things that you do and become a part of your routine again will form of your thoughts that are the again formative things in your book. So that is how these things translate, and that's how it has translated for me as well, rather than picking it up just because it is the biggest thing in the country. So it so happened that I liked it very much, and I connected with cricket, and many people connect with cricket. So that's how it works out.
Very certainly, it has been said that passion actually drags you onto things by hook or by crook. So, yeah, it is truly like it's being reflected in your stories. So, how do you elaborate your cricket and crime going hand in hand?
Ah. So that's what elaboration as in generally, even if you've seen in my past books, I like to bring in that surprise element, uh, kind of expect the unexpected kind of vibe in the book. So
Yes.
crime and cricket, when you look at, and again the past instances of things that happened, some unfortunate things have happened in the game of cricket as well. So people who generally relate thought will go into something like a betting or a match fixing kind of a scenario. So a crime in cricket, if somebody throws, that's how the mind would immediately go. So I wanted to again be slightly different from that, take a different angle to that, not the murder angle as well, some other different angle. So that is what I thought I'll bring in with crime and cricket. If you look at Heartquake, my previous book, it was again it's a medical thriller, but it had a bureaucratic and a political angle to it. So I made a kind of a cocktail with politics, bureaucracy, and medical world. So now this is a cocktail of crime and cricket world. So that's how I would sum it up.
Okay. So do you think the charisma following your cricket actually takes the sports person into a wrong direction?
Maybe for some, we have seen some unfortunate examples of that as well, but not necessarily for everybody. We have had excellent again stories We have had again a lot of success stories, tremendous achievements, a lot of inspiring efforts put in from the game as well. We have extremely promising players coming up. We had great ambassadors of the game who have inspired millions of people. But then there are, again, you take any profession, not just cricket, there are good apples, there are bad apples. So when end of the day, where there is money, there is always that lure to again take this path or that path and all that. So when
Exactly.
people are at crossroads, that dilemma is there. So what path he or she chooses determines who she or he becomes later in life.
Exactly.
So again, that point has been stressed in the book enough, like you mentioned.
Being such a true fan of cricket and seeing, people misbehave with the sport, does it become a hard pill to swallow sometimes?
Yeah, definitely. It does. Uh, what we look for is again, end of the day, a closely fought game where people give their 100%, winning, losing, result, everything is our secondary. What we are there to see is a fight, that sportiveness, the competitive spirit. End of the day, that competitive spirit is more than anything else. So that
Yes.
sense of effort and that sense of you're putting in your everything into the game and giving up your best and striving to achieve something. So that is what matters more than the result. So when you want to see something, you get inspired. When you see people putting in their best, giving in, punching above their weight, you get inspired naturally. So when that is not happening in a right way, naturally you will get disappointed as a fan. So that is what every fan would want. Their team winning or losing would be secondary, but they want a true fight.
Yeah, exactly. So do you think that the franchise cricket being advertised so much around the globe is one of the reasons that cricket fraternity is really going under shallow? Do you have any opinion on this?
Uh, that would be a popular opinion, but my unpopular opinion is again, franchise cricket that does help a lot of youngsters coming up as well.
Exactly.
Lot of very very inspiring stories have come up. I myself personally experienced it. Even in a state level league, like Tamil Nadu has TNPL now, Tamil Nadu Premier League.
Exactly.
Karnataka has its own Premier League. I happened to watch one of those matches. Somebody performed very well, a youngster. Then I inquired about that person's background. He happened to be coming from a very, very humble background. Again, coming to this level, performing now and going to the next level. And the kind of change his life has gone through in the last 12 months or so because of cricket, it was very heartening to see. Somebody who could make their ends meet and coming to this level and performing and going on and improving his life to that extent. I thought that was very promising. So, which is why I am always for franchise cricket because it opens up more avenues for youngsters and people. So, whenever there is an opportunity, I think we should take it. So, I will always be a supporter of such activities.
As you mentioned, the TNPL in your last statement, it has been the result that the Indian cricket team actually got the T Natarajan into the side as death bowler in T20.
Yeah.
So that is one of the brightest part of the sport. But I want to clearly ask you that what about the dark side of the franchise cricket? That follows with it. I understand the limelight. We all know that we are getting young talents, and Indian cricket team is in great hands with the help of franchise cricket. But what about the dark side that follows?
Yeah, that's what. See, when you look at dark side, there is a dark side to every field. When you look at politics, there is a dark side to politics. When you look at the cine industry, there is a dark side to the cine industry. When you look at the fashion industry, there is a dark side to that. When you look at, say, investment, banking, and stock, again, there is a dark side to that as well. So whichever you take bureaucracy, there is a dark side to bureaucracy as well. So anything and everything, there is definitely a dark side. But then what we should choose, like I mentioned earlier, is where we see opportunity, we'll take it in the right way. We will take it forward in a very rightful and a very clean manner so that it helps people. It could be that change maker for somebody, not block something because it has a dark side. So that's how I'm an optimist, perennial optimist. So I like to see it that way.
Exactly. Okay. So do you believe that stories and web series based on the corruption surrounding the sport is one of the biggest reason that is blowing away the interest of the public?
No, first of all, I will not agree with the fact that public interest is dying down to the game or the franchise cricket. You look at the numbers, whatever is given, say you take IPL, the numbers have always been growing, and people are watching. New watchers, kids are coming in to watch, and number of people coming in are definitely more than number of people who are stopping the telecast and moving out of the game. And more so, we all have mobile phones now. We are able to log in and watch whenever we could. Like when we travel, we are able to watch and all that. But then movie definitely has influence on everything. Movie influences a lot of things. Movies influence politics. Movies influence ways of life, fashion, and so many things. So it plays on the mind of people, but I don't think it plays enough for somebody to stop watching the game altogether. So that's how I take it.
Okay, so your sayings on, as we all know that it is said cricket is the only religion in this country that that tends to unite people. So what if things happen on the bad terms in cricket? You know,
Not
the
only
Bharti had a
it is not the available religion. I would agree with you in this. It is not the only religion that will unite people. It is one of the important religions that unites people. I am for football also in the same way. Tennis
yes,
also. I'm a big tennis fan as well. But then
yes,
generally, sports has that unique power. Music has that power. Sports has that power beyond everything else, beyond any inequality of bringing people together. That feeling of I am a fan of that.
exactly. Okay, I totally agree with you. But here I just wanted to ask that do you think that this sport actually, cricket in specific needs some strong laws to protect its, you know, uh, the authenticity the sport has been brought up with?
Yeah, definitely. I think strict legislations are always good, and stronger the framework is to govern anything, it is easier and it is more streamlined, and the loopholes are lesser. Again, when we say so, there is again a loophole for every rule. For every rule you bring in, there is somebody to bring in a loophole to that. There are always exceptions to every rule. Again, end of the day, it's up to people to follow. So stronger
Exactly.
enforcement, definitely yes. We see, for example, for wearing helmets, there are rules, but then end of the day, we have to follow it.
Exactly.
People who are the stakeholders have to completely come together to follow it. Same with cricket. Whatever may be the guidelines, whatever may be the legislations, that sort of an effort, that sort of again stakeholder level thought and the stakeholder level action is very important. As general public like you and me, people who watch the game and appreciate good cricket, we want good cricket. So that is all we are. But then people who are involved, who are active stakeholders, they should again keep that in mind when they perform.
Exactly. So what are your opinions on, as you know, that match fixing has come under huge limelight. It's affecting, it is also affecting the life of sports person baselessly who are not into the pit. So, in Hindi, there's a term, I'm not sure whether you're aware of it or not, कि मतलब एक हवलदार जो रिश्वत लेता है उसके अलावा पूरी उसकी कौम एक्चुअली बदनाम हो जाती है. So, there are various sports person who are not into the pit but still getting so much shame, just because few of them are going in the wrong direction. So, what are your opinions on that? It is just a baseless regard.
Yeah, that is like yeah, that's also yeah true because just because somebody is bad, you cannot generalize everybody to that. There are people who play with their heart and soul, give it their everything. So it's very wrong, and it is not right to categorize everybody together, put all the apples in the same basket. The majority of the people, they are very good and they play for whatever team or the country they are supposed to play. So that sort of a thing definitely has to be encouraged, but then the rotten apples have to be taken out. That is the most important thing. In some cases, for example, I remember reading about one cricketer who was banned for taking a banned substance, but then on inquiry it was found that it was taken accidentally. It was supposed to be medication and all that. So these things, there need to be clearer terms. So the whatever is being consumed and whatever is being regulated, because somebody may not really intent to do that, take such a drug. But then due course of time, he or she may be forced to take it because of the situation. But then that may lead to again undesired results. So I think these are the things that people need to be careful about.
Okay, so totally agree to your statement. So, okay, I'll ask that do you believe in second chances? And when I'm asking this, I'm asking in the context of when the sport is actually retaining the player who have, the players who have actually brought shame to the sport. Like few Pakistani players were back into the national team of Pakistan. In India also it is happening. So do you believe you know, in retaining the players who have brought this shame to the sport and its fans?
My personal opinion, again, it depends on what they have done. Again, like you said, we cannot generalize or categorize everybody as an anti-national who brought shame to the country. See, like I said, somebody may have done it accidentally, consumed a cough syrup, which may be containing a banned substance as per and as per law may be suspended. So, though I think those people definitely deserve. They shouldn't be wronged and all that. Again, we proved to be an offender with all the evidences and all that. I don't think he or she can come back to the sport. I think having given an opportunity, and if they have squandered it away in a very irresponsible way, there are people who are waiting. In a country like India, aspiring nation, youngsters and people waiting for opportunities. I think it will be very difficult to do so.
So you're agreeing that there should be a very thick line, in
Yes,
between retaining and okay, and yes, that's for sure that a huge talent is outside waiting for their chances in such a populous country like India. So okay, so coming back to your book, are you seeing your book overturning towards the big screen or motion picture similar to the previous books? Are you eyeing towards
yeah,
that?
definitely. Yeah, I would be very happy and consider myself fortunate if that happens. Fingers crossed. It is an entertaining book, but at the same time, we put in a lot of values, a lot of the awareness element as well. Things that especially youngsters need to know, like you previously mentioned, people who get into the sport, they are at the crossroads to choose the path and all that. So, what sort of a again decision making things that traits they may have, what can go right, what can go wrong, and all that. Plus, we have that strong message conveyed in the book, apart from all the entertainment angle. So, I think that would be a big USP for the book, and I think that should strike a chord with the readers. And if it goes on to the big screen, I'll be very very happy.
So we all will hope that it must, it turns out to be on the big screen, and I'll wish you all the luck for that. Sir,
Thank
any
you.
message for the youngsters, in the sense that they get a moral out of the story you have written in Mafia Premier League, so that they do not diverge their paths onto the negative. Any message for the youngsters listening today?
Yeah, message as in for the readers you're asking. Yeah.
Exactly. For the youngsters, basically for the youngsters, because sport is highly fascinating towards youngsters.
Yeah, that's what. So again, do what you want to do. Do what you want to do what you dream, and don't do things just because somebody else is doing, and don't stop doing something because somebody tells you not to do. Just because your peers are doing, don't indulge in something or don't start something, or just because somebody is saying you cannot do it, don't stop doing it. Do what you think is right. Do what you really want to do. Do what you dream of. So I think that is what will give you success ultimately. When you go behind things that you don't really want, I don't see such people succeeding. When you really go after something you'll be wanting, you'll definitely succeed. So that sort of a desire, that sort of a passion, I think is a key ingredient to success. So anybody watching this, I think should take it. I bring from my own experience in life, being a doctor, being a bureaucrat and an author. What I have seen in life, I wish to share to my friends and readers who are watching this. So that is my mantra to again do what I dream about, and not because somebody else is doing or somebody else tells me not to do. So I think that would be one message. And when you are on a crossroad, again, stay strong, decide something and stay strong. Good decision is always a decision taken is always a good decision than being without taking a decision. So that is again one of the things that I follow. It is always good to take some decision and have a conviction in life rather than being undecided, and that always automatically becomes a wrong decision. Undecided thing becomes wrong at the end. So that again is another thing that I would tell the youngsters today. And again, bring in more into reading. I read a lot. Self care is most important than anything else. Again, nobody will take care of your own self. That is the most important thing. Spend time with for yourself, things that make you happy. Devote more time to things that make you happy, be it reading, being it talking to friends, being it traveling, or whichever. So these are the things that I would tell the young readers who are watching the show today.
I'm sure the audience, the youngsters, whoever are, attached to this session and actually listening to your message must be taking all the self-belief, that confidence, the persistence kind of term you have been using in your statement for last, like, for whatever answer you have given. I'm sure they must be taking all the insights from it. Thank you so much, sir. We had a very wonderful session, and I'd like to bind up here by giving you my heartfelt regards for attending this session and making it so knowledgeable, so insightful, so aspiring for us as an audience. It was really mesmerizing, and I'm really excited, and you fulfilled the session I had with you. So we wish you all the luck for your future endeavors. We wish you all the luck for actual your book to overturn into a movie, into a tale for youngsters to watch on big screens, for the audience to watch. And it was really a privilege taking, having a session with you. Best of luck for all the future endeavors, sir. Your last words, please.
Thank very well. And like I said, thanks for your wishes and all the readers who have helped me from the first book onwards. So book has the right message and it has the right connect with all of you. I'm sure all of you would enjoy the book. Thank you so much to everybody.
Thank you so much, sir. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you. You too. Bye.